Hey, it's Robert Evans, and welcome to the first episode of See What I See. Come along with me to my trip to Mackinac Island, Michigan, where horse and carriage and bicycles rule, and there's no cars allowed. Hey everyone, it's Robert Evans. And so today I am going to do something new. I'm going on a road trip to photograph a client. So I'm driving about 10 hours from my home to Mackinac Island, which is on the upper peninsula of the Great Lakes. So today I'm gonna put in 6, 7, 8 hours, I don't know, where I get about maybe 2 hours away. As far as cameras that I'm gonna shoot, the cameras that I brought for my clients, I'm gonna shoot the A7 III and the A9. I brought along the G Master 135-1.8. I have a 51.4. I have a 16-35. I have a 70-200, which I'm guessing will probably be a lot of what I'll use kind of shooting this photojournalistically. So we made it out of Minnesota, and we're now in Wisconsin. It's raining. There was a storm that blew through Minnesota that actually delayed my departure this morning. The rain's actually kind of awesome. I enjoyed driving in it so far. No really hail or anything like that they predicted. Otherwise, pretty enjoyable. So onward with the journey. Well, it looks like we've beat the storm. We've finally driven past it. So now that storm is behind us because the road right here is pretty dry. And slow the windshield wipers down. A few drops on the window. It's coming a little bit, but I see daylight ahead. We're about 4 hours into the journey. I'm about 4 hours away from my destination to catch the ferry over to Mackinac Island. I wasn't going to go all the way up tonight that far. I was just going to leave myself a short drive in the morning. So I may not. It's only about 4 p.m. So I'll just see what the day has. So I'm going to drive. Next stop will be looking for a place to sleep. I stopped to get some gas. I got some Wisconsin cheese, which you have to do when you are in Wisconsin, as well as some fresh homemade beef jerky. Not the kind that's been in the package for 6 years, but it was in the refrigerated section. And so I'm good. So I just turned right and I'm headed up the west side, or I guess the north side of Lake Michigan now, with about 185 miles to go. But as you can see, the lake is off to the right side of the car, and it will be for the next 180 something miles. All right. So I did end up going the whole way. When I got there, I was a little tired and exhausted, and I didn't film anything, which I should have. But as I mentioned, that was my first time blogging, so I'm learning as I go. Next time I'm going to get better, promise. But one of the things when I got there, it was really cool because there was a car show in town, and there was all these people, even at 9:30 at night, lined up along the road watching all these sort of different cars that were driving up and down this strip, if you will, in front of the hotels right along the lake. So that was kind of cool. So anyway, I got there, I checked into my hotel, and I got up the next morning. Let's keep going. It is day 2 of the journey, and I made it in last night about 10:30. Got a hotel room right down the street from the ferry over to Mackinac Island, which you can see in the background. So ferry comes in about 45 minutes. Hopefully I get a little time today once I get over to the island to walk around and scout before my clients get there. So we have about a 40-minute boat ride across to the island. And so before I left, I thought what could I take pictures of besides the scenery on the way? And I asked the captain if I could shoot some pictures of him while he was driving the boat. To shoot a few pictures, so I got behind him and shot because I wanted to see like his perspective. Shot a couple little side portraits. I didn't want to push too much because it was nice of them to let me do it. And maybe if there was a couple first mates in there, if you will, and if they weren't there, maybe I would have done some portraits of him. but it kind of required me switching lenses, and I don't want to make a big production out of it. So I think one of the things in photography sometimes is just to be respectful, and when people agree to do it, either be prepared to go in and do what you're going to do. So I wasn't prepared to more shoot portraits. It was kind of more of a perspective street or lake photography, if you will. But if I wanted to do portraits, I should have gone in there with a portrait lens, prepared to just do portraits and get in and out. I think that's super important, is to sort of respect people's time and space. And when they grant you that, then you need to respect it. So as I mentioned in the beginning of my video, I'm coming to Mackinac Island to photograph longtime clients. So one of the ways I film myself is I brought this guy along. I'm not exactly sure, it's like a kind of tripod arm. This thing was like the hugest help for while I did this. So I don't know if in the first shot of on the boat you could kind of see through the captain's window, and I had attached it outside, but I used this to attach in the car to record myself. I used this to record the captain. I did have a microphone on when I went in to talk to the captain because I wanted some of that audio. But again, this being kind of the first time I did that, something went wrong. The microphone didn't work, so we don't have the audio from that. And there are just a few images from it. Though not epic, you know, it was for me, it was like a personal challenge. Like, all right, I'm gonna go in and ask this guy if I can shoot him. Because again, I'm a little bit shy most of the time, and I don't like want to do that, but I really challenge myself to overcome those little tiny fears. And because I truly believe if you don't ask, you're never gonna get the yes. And most of the time when I ask, people agree. Well, we made the ferry ride. We made it to the island. We made it to the room. The island's beautiful. It's really interesting, as you'll see in the pictures. There's no cars here, so the taxis are horse and carriage. There's a lot of bikes, a fair amount of people. I had about a 20-minute walk from the ferry to my hotel, but they brought all my bags over, which was nice. So I'm gonna go out on the street, do some street photography. I'm gonna try to bring you along with me. Again, vlogging, this is all new to me. But we can also do some voiceover and talk about the images and what I did. But whenever possible, I will try to shoot what I'm shooting. We made it to Mackinac, and we're off to go shoot in the streets. So when I got to the island and I was walking to my hotel, one of the bikes that went past me were one of those guys on the big old-fashioned bikes. And I was like, oh my gosh, like how cool, like, because here I am in this magical place, it's all bikes, and I thought, oh, they have that here? Well, that just happened to be a bicycle club from Michigan that was there. So that was really cool. And a little bit of the backstory, there's a 8.5 mile roughly, or 8.3 mile road around Mackinac Island that's very flat, so you can ride your bike all the way around. And I came to find out, which you'll see later on in some of the other images, is that these guys come to the island, this bicycle club, to do what they call like a centurion ride, or 100 miles on those bikes a day. So they actually ride 100 miles. They go around the island however many times 8.3 miles is to equal 100 miles. They do rest, but you're going to see some more images from those guys in a little bit in the future. But I thought it was really cool, and it was really something unique and fascinating to be able to stumble upon and photograph. So I'm sitting here, and I wanted to get one of those cool old bikes coming by. So I'm shooting stills and video. I really like this house, so I set up kind of in front of it so that I could get hopefully a still of the old-fashioned bikes coming past this house, because it'll be a nice background. So one of the things with photography is patience and you have to kind of sit and wait. So we're gonna sit here and see if I can't get one of those old-fashioned bikes coming by, because I've already seen one go by. I just wasn't down here to shoot it. We're gonna get lucky. Here comes the tall biker. I'm gonna get him in the picture. Not dressed the way I like, but I got one. I had to wait about 40 minutes, but that was it. All right, well, now that I got that, I saw another picture that I want to shoot. Just down the way, the horses come down on this corner and turn, and then out behind them is the lighthouse and that other lighthouse. So I'm gonna put horse and carriage with the ocean in the background if the bushes and everything are cooperating. The shot that I like, I have both lighthouses in it. Comes another Grand Hotel carriage. This time we're gonna get a dynamic moving shot since I have this mounted to the gate. So I'm going to take pictures and move this at the same time. So here it comes, moving the gate.
So I've been shooting video for a while. It's not my #1 forte, but because I had mounted that arm to the gate, and everything that I've been doing, especially with that arm, was just a static shot. So I just thought it would be fun to actually move the gate and actually get a movement. So I kind of did that for my own amusement. But, you know, any way that you can, like, especially since I was by myself and I was trying to do all this by myself, it was just kind of like a fun little way. So I was physically, like, I had the camera in this hand and I'm moving the gate with the other as I'm taking pictures and I'm moving the gate. So overall, for what it's worth, I think it was kind of fun.
Yesterday was a good day, long day. I shot some really cool pictures yesterday morning before I went out, the old big bikes. And I've shot some portraits of them over the weekend, and I happened upon their group photo in the morning. So that was kind of cool. And then as they were leaving, I shot some portraits and some candids of them. And it's good, it's beautiful here. I'll do 360 for you. Back around to the park. And I also got up yesterday morning, like I said before, I shot the portrait of the bicycle club. I walked the lake shore and shot some interesting images too, which I'll share, and that's it. The one image that I shot yesterday morning of the guys on their bike after their portrait broke up, the big bikes, really the lesson there, you know, I can't film it and teach it because it happened in the moment. But the lesson there, and I put the image on Instagram on my @RobertEvans account, is the best camera really is the camera that you have with you, because you never know what you're gonna see. So always keep a camera with you. No phones, cameras. You're photographers, right? If you have to, I guess that is the best camera you have with you if you have to resort to your phone. But I always try to keep a camera with me. I have so many different Sony cameras. I mentioned I'm filming this now on the RX105. And yesterday I shot the portraits, and all my scenic portraits I shot with my A7R III. And then photographing my clients, I'm using the A7 III because I don't need a huge 42 megapixel file for what I'm doing with that. So anyway, I will try to check in today. I was bad yesterday because it was busy and it was the first day. But I brought the RX105 along so I could vlog a little more stealthily. All right, I'll leave you with a view.
Okay, so I wanted to show you, this was the setup that I was using to film myself in that last clip. So this is the RX105. I just ordered the RX107, which I'm excited to get. That just recently came out. But the great thing about this camera, it's small, as you can see. And then this is a little attachment that goes along with it to, so it's a little handle, but then it also works as a tripod. Look at that, boom, you can just set it down. But then right at your thumb, it has a record button, as well as to zoom the camera in and out. But then I was just holding it like this and recording, and even the audio that you heard was just the ambient from this camera. So I was really quite impressed with it, you know, using it for video for the first time to vlog. So this really makes it handy. It's portable, it's mobile. And this takes amazing photos, especially the new camera. Has I believe a 24 to 200 zoom in it. But anyway, like, these are great little cameras for just in the go. They fit in your pocket, obviously, if you take this off here. But I just kind of wanted to show you this setup. Okay, so stay tuned for part 2. That's not it. We're gonna dig in to more of the photos, and I'm going to show you some of my favorite images that I shot on Mackinac. So that's coming up in the next episode. And if you have any tips for me on vlogging, I really enjoy doing that, and I want to do that more. So in my travels, I'm definitely going to make an attempt to vlog more, so I can kind of take you along with me, and you'll see the images that I shoot. So those of you that do vlog or watch other vloggers, please, in the comments below, give me some tips and what you'd like to see and how I can make it better. But I love doing it, so I'm going to continue. I'm going to grow. So again, if you loved this show, you like what we do, please follow us. Please subscribe, hit the notification button, and tell your friends. And we're just rolling along. So this was the first episode of See What I See. So stay tuned for part 2, and I'll see you back here in a few days.